The Oscars are here and they're just as what you expect. Welcome. This is Jason from Sisu Studios and welcome back to the channel. So as of this morning, the Oscar nominations have been announced and they are going just as I expected, but also with a few surprises and you can say a mountain of disappointment. But then again, this is the Oscars, so you know what to expect. With this year's nominations, the forerunner is Everything Everywhere All at Once, leading with 11 nominations, including acting nominations for Ke Kwan, Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Stephanie Hsu. So essentially the whole cast finally got nominations. And after Stephanie Hsu being almost essentially shut out in favor of Jamie Lee Curtis, no shade to Jamie Lee Curtis, but Stephanie Hsu, she ate that roll up. And Everything Everywhere got the Oscar nominations that they so rightfully deserved. So I'm so happy for that. Following is, let me see, I had this up, I swear. So another forerunner for Oscars is The Banshees of Inisherin, which whenever I first heard of it, I didn't think it was my cup of tea. But this actually makes me really want to watch the film because it's getting so much love from Europe and America. It basically swept in the BAFTAs as well, which was released. The nominations for the BAFTAs were released recently as well. So it's just like, it's astounding with how well this movie has done, considering from what I've heard is basically like, how does it feel to be soft blocked by Mutual on Twitter? And I was like, okay, I have to watch it now that I've heard that. So that one's going to be very interesting to watch. Other movies that I am so happy that got a nomination, of course, is Black Panther Wakanda Forever, including Angela Bassett who is making history as the first person in a Marvel movie to get an acting nomination for a Marvel movie. And this is probably only the second time a Marvel movie has ever been nominated for an Oscar since 2018, since the first Black Panther has been nominated. And I just feel like that's a great honor to everyone who worked on that film and how much gravitas that Wakanda Forever showed. While I wish there's more acting nominations for Wakanda Forever, especially for Letitia Wright and for Tanak Huerta, it's good to see Angela Bassett really just take this and just roll with it. So that is really cool. Another set of films that I'm surprised about, well, I'm not necessarily surprised about, but I am. So it's with Tar, All Quiet on the Western Front, and I'm so happy to say that The Batman actually got a few nominations. Not Best Picture like I was hoping, but it got something, so I'm not gonna be mad at that. What I am upset at is kind of the reason why I'm making this video. So very much so, is the hashtag Oscar so white. Granted, so you can say that there's only like a couple of black nominees for Oscars this year. Angela Bassett and Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway, which, not gonna lie, didn't even know that movie was a thing. Last time I seen him was in freaking Bullet Train, so I need to catch up on my works for Brian Tyree Henry because he has range. Who was also in a Marvel movie a couple years back with Eternals too, so that's another notch in his belt. I want to say that the biggest snubs of the year have been from predominantly black movies, specifically talking about Till, Nope, and The Woman King. Those three movies have shown so much success in the box office or critically or both. Like with Nope having Keke Palmer's best performance in years, with Daniel Kaluuya's best performance in years, with amazing production design and amazing editing. Just Nope is a modern epic, and it got shut out of almost every single award ceremony this year. No SAGs, no Critics' Choice, no Golden Globes, nothing. And it's just very sad because of the fact that it's such a talented work from an Oscar-winning director who seems to can't shake his first effort. It's like everything since Get Out has not gotten the same love at all. Even though I feel like he's improved on his like filmmaking so much, including with the fantastic movie that is Nope. So that is really weird. The Woman King, despite its somewhat problematic origins, has shown Viola Davis to be such a powerhouse as a lead, and with an excellent supporting cast such as Lashana Lynch and John Boyega. And it's such a powerful film in the same vein as like an epic. Like honestly, between The Woman King and The Northman, with those two period pieces, those two should have been in some way, shape, or form in the Oscars, and it got nothing. Absolutely nothing. The last movie, Till felt like it was designed to be an Oscar bait movie. The same ways Emancipation was meant to be an Oscar film, and that got shut out too. Speaking of, well, I think considering the whole thing with Will Smith from last Oscars, it doesn't seem so surprising, but you would think that since the Oscars have kind of done more for less, when I mean giving a convicted felon, well, not convicted felon, giving someone who is literally on the run from the American, police system an Oscar and not even being there to accept it. You think that they will let this one slide for Emancipation? But no. Emancipation got snubbed as well. So yeah, with Till and its exceptional writing and performance from Danielle Deadwyler as Mammy, that one was a literal crime that it did not get nominated for anything. Like, even The Whale, which is an Oscar film in itself, it got nominated. It is based on orchestrating Brandon Fraser's comeback, and you think Till will be in that same vein? Well, not with the orchestrating the comeback part, but with just its gravitas in the way that everything was shown for Till and its content. You think that it would get, an Oscar nomination right off the bat, but that really wasn't the case. I do feel like it was a, kind of weird for those movies to not get any kind of recognition by the Academy at all. It's unsurprising, but still kind of annoying at the, slightest. And I do hope that, if anything else, people from the Academy or other critics and other movie fans will enjoy those three movies in particular, especially Till, because there's a kind of a connection to my hometown about it with the production of it. So I just really want the people to see these movies. I think the biggest surprise though that I've seen from the Oscars is its inclusion of Ana de Armas as Best Actress in a Leading Role for Blonde. With its controversy and constant discourse about, biopics and whether or not that biopics, faithfully tell people's stories, it's surprising to see that despite it all, Ana de Armas has not only gotten an Oscar nomination, but a Razzie nomination in the same movie. So that's wild. And it's its only Oscar nomination too, which is equally as wild considering all of the other movies that came out. Another one that two more snubs and I'm done. Two more snubs that I'm honestly surprised about is RRR for everything that's not to related, and Decision to Leave.
This is editing Jason from the far future. I found out India, as a country, did not submit RRR as a contender for Best International Feature, via Grace Randolph of Beyond the Trailer. It now makes sense, and my outrage is quelled.
Decision to Leave, in particular, felt like it was poised to make a comeback in the international film feature, but it did not get nominated at all, which is weird to me because Asian foreign films have been basically in the running and basically been included with the general categories ever since, before Parasite, and with the success of Parasite and to a lesser extent Nomadland and Drive My Car from Japan last year's nomination, it's surprising that Decision to Leave, which how much success it has shown on critics, with fans, it is surprising to see it not get any nominations either. So that was a surprising snub. And RRR from India, that one is honestly like a true like underdog. Like, people have been rallying behind RRR getting anything, and the only thing that RRR has gotten has been a Best Original Song and for Not To, and luckily it won the Golden Globe, if I remember correctly. But it's just like wild to see it not be poised in the international feature or Best Picture or any other nomination besides the Best Original Song. And I've listened to Not To. It's a bop. So that was pretty wild. What else am I excited for when it comes to these nominations? Because these nominations have been essentially a lot of people say safe, which I'm kind of inclined to agree with, because of the fact that we've all seen the writing on the wall for a lot of these movies to be nominated. At least expect one upset. Honestly, the only one I really see is the lack of the movies that I talked about and the inclusion of Ana de Armas, which I loved Ana de Armas's performance in Blonde, but I'm not entirely sure that anything else did really deserve to be nominated. But it does feel good to have Ana de Armas get, a nomination that I think she deserves for something. So I think, other than the fact that I think a lot of people I've noticed that are unsurprised but are also upset at Top Gun Maverick getting nominated, which I think that, I'm not gonna say it's BS or anything, but I do agree that I think this is one of the few times where a blockbuster of this caliber does deserve something. While I haven't really seen Top Gun Maverick, is not really in my ballpark of, movies I should watch. Well, I'll probably need to watch it at some point, but with all the success and basically being $1 billion movie without any kind of, just based off the domestic box office alone, that deserves a little something. And Avatar: The Way of Water, of course, that was going to get a nomination because it's Avatar, it's James Cameron, and it came out at just the right time for just it basically take all of the like technical awards, which I expect Avatar to take at least the majority of them. I think one of my favorite categories has one of my favorite films of the year, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, for Best Animated Feature. And I really do like that list. This is a pretty stacked list if you want to be real. Between Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, that's a pretty stacked category as well. So it feels like a lot of these categories are pretty stacked this year, despite its obvious snubs and inclusion or lack thereof. Well, I think that's about it. Oh, one last thing. I did want to talk about the actual televised, streamed nominations with Riz Ahmed and Allison Williams. And I'm like, come on, Allison Williams, come through with your redemption arc after being cast as main villain and playing a villain so good that everyone hates you. Megan was really a redemption arc for Allison Williams. I'm just gonna say that right there. Get your check, baby, get your check. But I think other than that, I think that's about it on my discussions of the Oscars. And who do you think will win? Comment down below. Thank you for watching. This is Jason from Sisu Studios signing out. See you later.